Hi, nobodies. So today, I don't know if this will be a long video or not. I almost always make long videos. Today was a good day. It was a really good day. Um, Left the house to go to a different Dollar General and get my Zapp's Cajun Dill Gator Taters. And they had them. Not only that, they had plenty. So I got 4 bags of it. I was like, yes, these are good. And then I stood there and I had donations and some clothes that I had shrunk out of, and and I at that Dollar General they had like a little bin that you could put stuff in. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to my thrift store that's on like the outskirts of Benton. Cause see, we've got Alexander's like right here, then Bryant, and then Benton. And I went to the edge of Benton, and I was a little nervous, but it wasn't that bad, honestly. Now, of course, this was first thing in the morning, so no doubt my overnight dose of Xanax helped. I'm not going to say that I did this all by myself, but I made it there. Just kind of walked around for an hour in the place looking at everything. They had music boxes, but nothing that played anything I wanted. Like When You Wish Upon a Star, I was like, eesh. They never have anything really cool. They did have one that played a nocturne, but it wasn't one that I liked. And then there was like the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, which no, I don't like that one. Um, but that was my morning. And after that, I was like, okay, I'm in Benton. I'll go by the Big Red that I know has UFOs. No UFOs. So I told the cashier, I asked the cashier, I said, hey, are they not making it anymore? Because, I worry about this because I fucking love those. So she said, I don't know. He just brings in stuff. So if we've been out of them, then he should have brought them in if he's got them. She said, but I'll ask him when he comes in. Yeah, that's going to happen. I mean, even if she's the manager, she'll forget. I'm used to this. um, I don't know why, but when I used to do not gas station attendant, but whenever I would work back room at Target and I was handling like the vendors and stuff, I just kind of, if I had worked sales floor the week before or 2 weeks before and a customer asked me, or at Target, it's not a customer, it's a guest. If a guest asked me, about something, I'd say, well, I'll see what I can find out about it, and we'll try to get that in for you. When it came to like bread, all I had to do was ask the vendor. And I would leave like a note for the backroom guy. Whether he talked to the vendor or not, I don't know. But when I would work back there, I'd walk right up to the vendor. Or if I was on the sales floor and the vendor came out there, I'd say, hey, you know, put a put a bug in somebody's ear, because the guy who delivers the stuff is not typically the guy who orders it. They've got like a rep that comes out. Anyway, I know they're not going to call. So then I was like, okay, well, I'm out here having a good day. I will just take the long way home. I'll take the long, winding road. And because I love that drive. I mean, there's a couple of drives that I used to do, like when I was 18, 19 years old, late at night. I was out in the middle of freaking nowhere just because I love that there was no traffic. And I would have my stereo blaring and I would just have a blast. Now, a lot of those nights I was bawling my eyes out. Probably shouldn't have been driving. But I was out there because I knew that Sardis Road and Arch Street and Chico Road and all of this is in like Little Rock, Bauxite. Knew those like the back of my freaking hand. And I knew gas station people because I was always like in there at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning to get something, headed to Denny's or whatever. And I went down the long winding road. And I said, I'm going to go see Humphrey. So I'm going along down the road, and I see these goats to the side, and I was like, oh my God, there's goats. And when my vehicle got close, they went hauling ass into the woods, and I was like, it looks like they got out of a pen, because they didn't look dirty or anything. They looked like groomed. These goats did. But I don't know much about goats. I've seen them. Tyrion wants a pygmy goat and a mini pig, I believe. That's what she calls it, a mini pig. I don't think she calls it a pygmy pig. That's fun to say, pygmy pig. I like that. Pygmy pig. Anyway, these were full-size goats, and went past and took a different route to see Humphrey, because normally I come from like Little Rock and head towards Bauxite, but this time I was heading from Bauxite in towards Little Rock. So on the way, there's a lot of, it's kind of a country road. I mean, you're not 15 minutes from a gas station or a store of some kind, but it is, houses way off in the woods and stuff, big properties. So as I was going, there's nobody behind me. I see all these geese. I see all these Canadian geese, because there's like a little pond in this person's yard. And so I stopped my car, and I had the window down, because it was a beautiful day in Arkansas today. Even though it wasn't really sunny, it was a beautiful day. Like 81, 82 degrees, and that's perfect here. So I stopped my car and started snapping pictures of all the geese, because there were a bunch. And then I just kept my phone on, because I was like, well, I am not very far from Humphrey, and this time I won't have glare, because last time I was going from the other direction, and I didn't think to roll down the passenger window. So there was glare. You could see my seat in the window. So I got to Humphrey, and I was like looking for him. I was like going maybe 5 miles per hour, and it's 45 through there, but there was nobody behind me. Nobody around. And I finally spotted him like at the end of the enclosure, and I was like, okay, there he is. And I had to move up real quick and then stop and then snap, 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 snap. And I went going. And they've got goats in the enclosure right after Humphrey. They didn't look as nice as the goats that were near the road. They looked like they were shedding. I don't know anything about goats or camels. I just know that Humphrey lives there. And I know that's like a crazy, insane thing that I'm all, hey, I went to go see my camel, Humphrey. He's my camel. But I consider him mine. He makes me happy. Just seeing him there makes me happy. Oddly enough, they got all those goats, and they got tons of grass. The goats are supposed to eat it. My aunt has people that have goats right next to her, but she really lives in the country. Like, it's 20 minutes for her to get to civilization, really. Well, I mean, there's a store not far from her house. There's a couple of them, but she's really out there in the country. If we have an ice storm, she's stuck for days, maybe even a week. She's got a generator that just comes on when her electricity goes off, because she knows that if the electricity goes off, she is not going to be one of the first people to get their power back. But she's still not that country. But today was a good day. And then I got home, and everything has just kind of sat right with me. And I went outside and sprayed Yellow Jackets from my... Here's the thing about the Yellow Jackets, if you don't know. Now, Yellow Jackets and hornets are two different things, but both of them can sting you multiple times. Yellow Jackets, those little dirty bastards, you don't have to be anywhere near their nest. They'll just come up and sting you. And they don't just sting you. No, they latch onto you and continually sting you. They're mean. They're vicious as hell. So I was sitting out there in my chair my Adirondack chair, and I had one of those hornet blasters, and I was just shh. So I mean, the hummingbirds can't even hit the hummingbird feeder because these suckers are like, I mean, I'm not kidding. There was like 30 or 40 of them around the hummingbird feeder, and I was like, that is just too close to me, because any one of those can just shoot off and say, hey, I'm gonna get her, and when that one gets you, it's like the rest of them just home in on you like, somebody's getting stung, let's go sting somebody. Hate those suckers. I don't, nobody likes to get stung, but I really hated it. We've got these big ass red wasps. I'm sure they have a name, and I could totally look that up, but I'm not gonna. But these suckers, these big red ones, and they've got these blue wings, and those, when they hit you, it's kind of like if you've ever heard of bullet ants, how a bullet ant sting, they're called bullet ants because it feels like a bullet hit you. Well, these suckers, these red bastards, they will hit, and like my dad got stung on his hand, and his whole hand swelled up to where he couldn't use his hand, like he couldn't wiggle his fingers. It was almost like a rattlesnake bite in how it swelled up. I've known people who've gotten stung on the face and it's closed both their eyes, and these are people who are not allergic to bees and wasps and all that. I hate that stuff, but I know one of them little bastards, at least bees don't bother me too much because they can only get me once. But I remember one time I was sitting on the porch steps in front of mom and dad's house, and all of a sudden something started getting me. A wasp had flown up my shirt and was just stinging me down my back. I think I had about 20 or 30 bites. I mean, I jumped up and I was just like flailing about, and I think I ran into my room, and I just could not think of anything. And my dad's like, take your fucking shirt off. And he run out of the room as soon as he said it. He's like, get your fucking shirt off. And when I took my shirt off, that's when I saw the wasp. I had no idea I was getting stung by a wasp. I just knew something was getting me. And it was continuing to get me. But it was just a regular run-of-the-mill, probably like a dirt dauber. It's just a little black thing with just like a head and a little abdomen, little wings. It was nothing special. If that would have been a yellow jacket, I really would have lit up. And if it would have been one of those red ones, oh shit. I probably would have been in the hospital over that, because I think those red ones are actually pretty potent. But anyway, I always get off track. So today was a good day. I am not going to complain because I have had my fair share of bad days. So any day that I can say I didn't flip out. And today I had 2 20-ounce sodas that had caffeine in them, and I didn't get that. I did not get antsy or anything. So doing really good. I'm just wondering, how when I travel, how that's going to work. Am I just going to have to say, get as much time in as you can, and then when you start to flip out, find a hotel room and rest for the rest of the day, then wake up and go do it again. Just go as far as you can, stop, rest, take a pill, and then go. I don't know, but I don't mind. I don't mind taking my time getting somewhere, because wherever I go, I'm home. I am never feeling out of place when I am in another city. I like that about myself, that I just feel like I can stay. Actually, for the most part, any place I go, I'm like, I don't want to go back. Corpus Christi was the hardest to leave. Absolutely the hardest place to leave. I was like, no, I want to stay. Used to sit on the porch smoking a cigarette, and I would just hear the waves going, and I would just imagine seeing waves in front of me instead of my parents' house. I was like, oh man, this place sucks. I loved it there. I so loved it there. Not that I could afford to stay in the hotel I was in for weeks at a time. Not during busy season. But anyway, that was my day. I hope your day was good. And if it wasn't, I'm sorry. I truly am. I want everybody to have a good day. Um, if your day wasn't great, just see positive that tomorrow can be better. You know, it may not be better because I mean, sometimes you'll just have your fair share of shit days in a row. But try not to think about whether tomorrow is going to suck as bad as today. Just give it a chance. Wake up, thank the universe, God, Allah, Jehovah, whatever you want to call the power that be, the powers that be. If you believe in that, if you're an atheist, I don't know what to tell you. But thank them for the day. Take a moment to look at the beauty of flowers. Look and see if you can see a bird, hear a bird, something. Look at pretty cars. You know, do something that you like. You know, focus on that. That's pretty. I like that. Even if it's a girly magazine, I don't care. Whatever floats your boat. But start your day off on a positive note and try to keep that momentum, because if you can keep that momentum, then you'd be surprised at how good of a day you can have. So, anyway, have a great night and good night from me.